Welcome, Dominic.
Hi. With the rates increase, it's commonly been seen over the past few years, it's 5.5 or in that 5% bracket continually, no matter what, and somehow it's just always trimmed down to a lower budget or higher budget in that bracket as the final rates increase. Yet this can't be sustainable long term for a council to continually increasing rates on a 5% bracket or even higher to fund even pet projects of that staff put up to yourselves to fund and provide for the city. One of those pet projects or pet layouts being the cycleways. Some of them have been good, some of them have been absolutely shocking, and I put that as the Worcester Street layout. Even last night, commuting home, there were cars blocking one or two of the speed humps. That put my life in danger. Yet there is continued excuses put from staff of there's no budget, which highlights a fundamental problem with the Capital Works program, that no budget was provisioned for remediation. It highlights that designers failed in their jobs to provide suitable and practical design and mitigate against foreseeable future impacts. You look at the east, it's with the intensified housing. The Greenway is not suitable for that. It's absolutely shocking. You need something of a higher calibre, and given the proximity to the CBD, to the stadium in the future, and the event centre and the pools, having a Greenway with speed humps, or glorified speed humps, is not practical and sensible. I've been nearly hit by a rubbish truck on that layout. I've raised it to two of the councillors and yourself, Mayor, and I get constant excuses from staff because they don't want to touch it. It's negligence, it's incompetence. We need to address shit design as a nutshell. You also highlight about deferring differential rates for businesses, commercial land. Yet we still have the dirty 30 list or something, yet a lot of it still sits vacant, undeveloped. And there's the excuse of, oh, wait till resource consent's granted. To be honest, they should only have it once construction starts. It's been how long since the quakes? Over 10 years. And yet we've still got these vacant plots. We're still rebuilding. Yet Japan rebuilt bloody quick after the quakes and the tsunamis. Apart from bureaucratic red tape, we should be having development occurring. The city needs to prosper further and grow more. Yet we're held up by these properties and developments. And you look at Oxford, Terrace, Armagh, Colombo and Gloucester, where the Catholic Diocese is going to build. And there's parking lots either side of the empty basement, which is flooded because they had that art exhibit pouring water into it. How does that promote to the city of a vacant, empty lot, undeveloped? That looks a bit shit, to be honest. It shows we're still backwards thinking. We're not trying to encourage development in the city. We're not showing that the city has potential to do more. When you look at Eden Park, it's development expo this morning. They're wanting to make that a big national stadium. Go figure. Shows Christchurch lagging behind. Really, I think you should just fix Worcester Street, remove the layout currently, because it is a problem, and I'll keep coming every time and I'll start raising issues to staff again, because I'm a user, and I'm disturbed as to how that layout ever existed without addressing such fundamental faults and issues that have occurred. And I have raised this to staff, and the head of transport is actively aware of these issues, as I've personally met with her. So it's negligence if nothing's been done, and I'd ask questions of staff, and heads should roll.
Good. Sarah. like to ask you a question. And Jake, did you have one too? Thank you.
Thanks, Dominic. While we're still trying to do other stuff, in the meantime, we've had your submission and others that have mentioned the lack of enforcement when it comes to bikes parking, cars parking in cycle lanes, blocking them, making it dangerous because cyclists have to go on the road, that kind of stuff. We currently only fund parking enforcement kind of during office hours, whereas Wellington and Auckland fund them 24/7. Do you think we should be extending the amount of enforcement that we're able to do and actually get people out there and ticket people who are, forcing you into the road?
So shouldn't that be incorporated with the designs potentially? Because that is a problem. Yeah. If it's only limited to daylight hours, 9 to 5, that is a huge problem. And that does put people's lives at risk. Yeah, but like
even in completely separated cycleways, we're getting cars parking in them.
So it's educating.
So we need more,
it's educating designers, not residents and users. As the issues on Worcester Street never occurred prior to the layout. So the only thing that's changed is the layout itself. So we should not be blaming residents and users.
Yep, thank you. Tyler, and then Jake, and that'll do.
Kia ora, Dominic. Just one question really is where is it exactly that are the pinch points for...
From Fitzgerald Avenue intersection right through to the England Street layout was the section I ride, and along that entire stretch I've found issues on a regular basis ever since the speed humps were installed and the layout changes occurred.
Okay, and it's the whole layout itself?
Whole layout. Yep.
Thank you. And Jake?
Just wanting to make sure, I think Phil and I have had a couple of thoughts about how we could improve the layout, but really is the optimum solution a dedicated, separated cycleway along that route?
Potentially, yes. With the infill housing, I've seen multiple townhouses pop up along that street and the businesses on Stanmore Road occur. And reality is designers should have almost foreseen that as part of their jobs in designing it, which would raise more questions. I'd be more than available to help with addressing the issues that have occurred and highlighting them to designers and staff more, as I feel that the auditors only drive down the road and don't actually experience it from a cyclist perspective. And I've been riding it ever since it got installed, and I feel unsafe, and I'm a competent cyclist. So,
okay. Thank you, everyone, and thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant.